President Trump is knowingly going into a hostile environment on this very network, on CNN, with debate moderators who have made their opinions about him very well known over the past 8 years in their biased coverage of him.
The dehumanizing rhetoric of Adolf Hitler is once again alive and well on a national political stage. This time, of course, in the United States. Donald Trump, a couple times over the weekend, referred to immigrants from South America, Africa, and Asia. He did not mention Europe. South America, Africa, and Asia as, quote, poisoning the blood of our country, which it's not hyperbole. That does very directly echo Adolf Hitler's language before World War II. To open up a copy of Hitler's Mein Kampf, you would find the Nazi leader describing the mixing of non-Germans with Germans as poisoning. Disdain, it is a time of cruelty, an era of just plain meanness.
What's going on, guys? So we got to talk about this Trump deranged CNN host, Cassie Hunt, shutting down an interview early, prematurely, okay, not surprising to me at all, for Trump spokesperson Karoline Leavitt, okay? So the reason for this was because the debate's coming up, and they're acting as though Trump is going to attack the moderators and all this stuff, but Leavitt clearly points out that these are not normal moderators, okay? These are moderators who have previously been extremely Trump deranged.
You know, I agreed to do a debate with crooked Joe Biden on CNN with fake TAPPER, and I think they'll be fair. Does anybody think they'll be fair? I might be. No.
The whole network of CNN is having a woke wars battle between extremely Trump deranged MSNBC, and CNN is trying their hardest to catch up with them. They're like, man, we're not Trump deranged enough. They're trying as hard as they can, and they can't keep up with wacky MSNBC, but they're trying. And I think it's pretty obvious to point this out. There's a reason why Trump and so many others call them fake news. Basically, virtually every independent podcaster, news channel, commentator, or what have you, is always calling these people fake news, corrupt, the establishment, and so forth. And there's a reason for that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and react to this.
Themselves as professionals, as they have covered campaigns and interviewed candidates from all sides of the aisle. I'll also say that if you talk to analysts of debates previous, that if you're attacking the moderators, you're usually losing. So I really want to focus in on what these two men are going to do and say when they stand on the stage. Now, we have a little bit of what Donald Trump, your boss, has said in trying to set expectations for this debate. I want to play a series of his comments, and then we'll talk about it. Watch.
Well, maybe I'm better off losing the debate. I'll make sure he says I'll lose the debate on purpose. Maybe I'll do something like that.
I assume he's going to be somebody that will be a worthy debater. Should I be tough and nasty and just say you're the worst president in history? Or should I be nice and calm and let him speak?
So he's basically saying there, well, will I let Joe Biden win? It does seem as though many Republicans have set the bar very low.
Dude, I mean, Donald Trump is obviously trolling here. Like, he's just... What is it with people like Donald Trump is known? He literally used to be on TV. He's always joking around. But it's like they try to take a small snippet of what is clearly him basically having a long stand-up comedy session. This is what a lot of his rallies are. And then you turn around and try to say, well, he seemed like so serious about what he was saying about Joe Biden, like he was going to let him win. In what universe do y'all think that Donald Trump is going to intentionally let Joe Biden win? Like, even bringing that up is just the stupidest thing ever, to even pose this as some sort of question. Like, well, if he wins, he's going to claim that he let Joe Biden win. Or if Joe Biden wins, then Trump is going to claim that he let him win. No way that he's going to do that. Like, he'll probably call out the fake news. But first off, Trump's not going to lose the debate anyway. Secondly, regardless of what anyone says and what happens during the debate, CNN is going to say that Joe Biden won no matter what the hell happens during the debate anyway. Basically, as long as he doesn't fall asleep, fall off the stage, fall down the stairs, completely...
Thanks to all the members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary. 4 more years. Pause. 4 more years. Pause. Secretary. She knows so long as she was 9.
As long as he doesn't do any of that, then they're going to say that Joe Biden won the debate. If he's a cognitive human being, they're going to say he won.
In terms of arguing that Joe Biden is basically senile, now you have people like Doug Burgum coming out and saying, well, President Biden's very accomplished, trying to set expectations in a different place. What do you expect from Joe Biden?
Well, first of all, it takes someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently
stop this interview if you're going to keep attacking my colleagues.
Adolf Hitler.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview.
So she can't even talk about Jake Tapper? Or you said, hold on, let me go back. She didn't even say anything yet.
From Joe Biden.
Well, first of all, it takes someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently
stop this interview if you're going to keep attacking my colleagues.
Adolf Hitler.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
Yes.
If you are here to speak on his behalf, I am willing to have this conversation.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys.
Debate,
we're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time. You are welcome to come back at any point. She is welcome to come back and speak about Donald Trump. Donald Trump will have equal time to Joe Biden when they both join us now later this week in Atlanta for this debate. Our thanks to Caroline.
That is insane. That she didn't even get a chance to say anything. What they're trying to do is temper they're trying to make sure that people don't know the truth. This is why people call them fake news. They're trying to make sure that people don't know the truth, that these people have literally likened Donald Trump to Hitler on multiple occasions, called him a terrible president. They've said all kinds of heinous things. They're trying to pretend and fake because they don't want you to know the truth.
That was the worst debate I have ever seen. In fact, it wasn't even a debate. It was a disgrace. Primarily because of President Trump lying, maliciously attacking the son of the vice president.
You just took the words out of my mouth. You used some high-minded language. I'm just going to say it like it is. That was a shit show.
The president does not think he's going to win this election, and he wants to bring the rest of us down with him.
There's a lot for President Biden to tout. Americans don't seem to be giving him the credit. Why is that, and what does he have to do to turn that around? He certainly met the moment they wanted him to be a fighter. And boy, fight did he deliver. Trump's claim about Biden orchestrating the trial is baseless. Allegations with absolutely no evidence that he was making against President Biden, that he is behind all of the prosecutions. There's no evidence that Joe Biden was involved. There's no evidence, absolutely no evidence, that Biden himself was involved. Donald Trump is now the presumptive Republican nominee for president. U.S. intelligence agencies are reportedly preparing to share classified briefings with him. Should Donald Trump receive intelligence briefings?
Congressman Brian Mast, a Republican from Florida, who lost his legs, by the way, fighting for democracy abroad. Although I don't know about his commitment to it here in the United States. And we are waiting for former President Trump to make his first formal remarks. We're not carrying his remarks live because, frankly, he says a lot of things that are not true and sometimes potentially dangerous. Now the Trump presidency is coming to an end. It has been a time where truth and fact were treated with disdain. It is a time of cruelty, an era of just plain meanness. For tens of millions of our fellow Americans, their long national nightmare is over.
What else would they do besides have people literally cut off from speaking because you don't agree with what they're saying, or you don't want to hear it or whatever, and then cut them off? How many times have y'all seen more conservative, right-leaning news networks just cut people like, oh, well, we're not going to let you speak? They literally did this before when Donald Trump was giving a victory speech. MSNBC, actually, it was, cut off Donald Trump's victory speech saying, well, he's telling too many lies. We can't let his lies be told.
So far, he's just giving his normal list of grievances. We don't consider that necessarily newsworthy, and there's a cost to us as a news organization of knowingly broadcasting untrue things. So our deal with you is that we will monitor these remarks. If he does say anything newsworthy, we will turn them around and report on that right away. But for now, just know that it's happening, and we're not taking it.
Why don't you let him say what he has to say, and then let the people, the viewers watching, make a determination of what the truth is and what they choose to believe. No, MSNBC and CNN want you to believe what they want you to believe, and so do the cackling hens. As a matter of fact, they've admitted previously that they didn't even really, like, Joe Biden's not the greatest, but we just really don't want Trump to win, so we don't want to say anything bad about Joe Biden.
That was so good. So good. Her quote on-air snub proves that you know who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective?
Can't take an interview whichever direction you want. When you start to veer into other things, anyone's going to get cut off.
I think that they're setting the stage for, if the debate goes poorly, to say it was rigged, these moderators were against us, and frankly to try to get out of the next ABC one, which I think is important that they do.
I love the way she handled it. Back in the day, you always saw and gave opportunity for both sides. The idea that we should always give two sides equal weight and merit does not reflect the world we find ourselves in. Our world is different now. Decisions to not give unsupported arguments equal time are not a dereliction of journalistic responsibility or some kind of agenda. Our duty is to be fair to the truth.
They don't want to say anything bad about Joe, anything bad about the sleepy, crooked, coked up Joe Biden. Instead, they only want to speak positive of him so that he can get elected again, and then speak negatively about Trump. And then they wonder where the hell all their credibility went. These people are sick, and this is not really a good sign of things to come during this presidential debate. Even with their bias, I still believe that Trump is obviously going to smoke Joe Biden because he just doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And I agree with Trump. Dude doesn't know he's alive. He doesn't even know he exists anymore. He thinks that he's like in another realm. Okay. He doesn't know that he's still among us on earth. Okay. He doesn't know that his spirit is still here. He thinks it's somewhere on the other side because it feels like it's like halfway over there. Okay. It's halfway in hell and halfway on earth. But Joe Biden doesn't even realize it right about now. And then the fake news tries to wonder why their credibility is damaged. There's actually 3 people's credibility that's actually on the line here that people don't realize. Donald Trump's, Joe Biden, and then fake news CNN. Their credibility is on the line here more than ever. It's already damaged, in my opinion, to the point of no return. But I think after this, if they don't tighten up, at least during this presidential debate, first off, never do this again with any interview. This should not happen. Okay, unless somebody talking about pedophilia or something crazy, this should not happen. But this should never, in terms of like regular politics, this should never occur, is the first thing. And the second thing, if anything like this happens during the debate, then that'll just be another negative mark on their record for why people are calling them fake news. Complete and utter justification of being labeled fake, unfair, totally biased news, which they already have gotten that label, in my opinion, but adding further fuel to that fire. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
Report accurately, because you are one of the most inaccurate reporters. Those people have been just absolutely excoriated by some of the fake news, like you. You're CNN, you're fake news.